Hi everyone. Today's session we will going to understand the data type in TypeScript. We will going to talk each and every data types. So before going into deep dive, we just have a review on what we have learned so far. So in our previous session, we understand that what is TypeScript, then why automation needed, then TypeScript versus JavaScript, then some prerequisite, the installation of TypeScript and how we can run the first statement or first code in TypeScript. So we already discussed about this. Later on, we discussed about the comment, that how you can write your first comment or multi-line comment in TypeScript. It's really important. Also, we discussed about the variables. So, what types of variables like const, var, let, and we deep dive into that. So, how we can declare or create these variables in TypeScript. So, we already discussed about all this concept. Today, we will more focused on the data type. So, basically, what is data type? A data type tells scripts or TypeScript what kind of value a variable can store. For example, the value can be text, number, true, or false. TypeScript is strict, so it helps you avoid mistakes. This data type it tells you that what kind of value a variable can store inside that. Okay, so there is a certain types of data type. Before going into that, I want to let you know that JavaScript is dynamically programming language and TypeScript is statically type programming language. And why we are saying this? So to understand this, we have to start our Visual Studio first. Then I will showcase to you a real-time example. So you will get to know more into this. So first we will create our data file, TypeScript file that we can name as data type.ts. We are giving this extension because we are creating a TypeScript file. So we created our file. Now we talked about um, then we also talked about TypeScript. Okay. I will give you, I will make you understand with some examples, right? So why JavaScript is dynamically programming language? So let's suppose that you create a variable called let, then you defined as ID as 10, right? You already defined that. We are not seeing any compile time error. But now if the same ID you want to define, say you want to define the same value, you can define this. What is the value or what is the data type here? Right now it's a number, right? It's a number. Here it's a number. This you can do. Now one more thing. Uh, this we are talking about TypeScript first. Yeah. Now if I want to assign the different data types value, let's say name. Okay, so is this possible? No, it is giving you some error. So what error you are giving? It is saying that type string is not assignable to type number because this is a variable which is having the data type as number, right? As number. So you cannot assign any string value to this, but and the type of is as a string. Okay, but same thing. You can you can uh, you can, if you write in JavaScript, so you will not get any error. So this is the loophole of JavaScript, you can say. Here you are not seeing any compile time error, but here you are getting the compile time error, that it is not allowing to store the different data types values in same variable which already having a similar kind of data types. For example, I already showcased to you that this ID is only can store the values which is like number, right? But it cannot store as a string. Okay. Also, we can check the data type. How we can check the data type of any variable? So we can use console.log, and here you have type of, then you can define the ID. So in this way, you can get the value you can get the type of your data type of a variable, right? In this way you can get it. Why you're getting error here? What happened? Let Yeah, you can do that, but okay, don't know why it was giving error. Hmm. Oh, okay. So because it we already defined this. Okay. So if you want to know the type of any variable, you can use type of keyword. This is built in keyword in TypeScript. Then you can run your code. So yeah, you can note, and then you can provide the name of your file. Yeah, so it gives you number. So what is the type of your variable is number. So this way you can check it. Now let's talk about the data types. So what is the data type basically? So data types tell TypeScript what kind of value a variable can store. Okay, for example, text number, true or false. So today we will going to discuss about the primitive or built-in data types which is provided by TypeScript itself. And we in upcoming sessions we also going to cover the non-primitive data types, but today we will only focus on the primitive data types. And what are those primitive data types? Those are like a string, then we have number, then we have big int. So big int is a part of the number itself. Then we have a boolean, null, undefined, any, union type, and void. So today we will going to discuss about all these data types. So what is a string? So I think if you are already belongs from any coding background, so you know that what is the string. So a string is used to store text values, and you can define in TypeScript in three ways. One is you can write your string in double quote, you can write in single quote, also you can use backtick quote to write your string. So every programming language have its own structure and having its own way of writing their code. So do not compare this with this TypeScript with any other programming language. Just try to learn it as it is. So we will understand this with some of the examples. I already provided some of the example here. So let's move to our code. Okay. So here we can write that uh, first name, is equal to, you can write a string in double quote. This is acceptable. If you write single quote, so this is also accept in TypeScript. Now if you want to use the variable value, for example, you need to provide this value in any function. So how you can use that? For example, you want the first name and last name value. So what you can do, you can use the backtick. Okay, with the help of this you can write, for example, details. Okay, then how you can call this first name? Here you have to write the first name, and what you have to use, just see here. So you have to use the dollar, then curly braces. Okay, so curly braces, then you have to write for last name as well. So just write last name and then use dollar, then use curly braces. So this is the way, this is the one of the way where you can write or define your string. Okay, now let's print this. So for print, you can use the console dot log, and we are providing the variable name here. Okay, so yeah, so this is double quote you can use. This is a single quote you can use, right? and this is like backtick you can use. So all these are the right way to define your string in JavaScript and TypeScript. So you can define your strings in this way. Now let's run this program. Let's save it first, then we can run it. So we have the file inside that. See here. So if I want to take the value, so here it is providing me the value, and detail is basically a message. So if you want to take the name of your variable, you can just like you can use as it is. If you want to take the value of your variable, so you can use this form. Okay. So this is the one data type that is called string. We will more talk about this later on upcoming session, but just try to understand this for now. Now we have second type of data type, which is your number. So how you can use a number? So I have already given example here. So how you can use it? So let's first let's string first. Now we will comment this. Then we'll talk about number. Okay, so what is number? So you can say like age. Age is a number. 20 you are defining. Then uh, you can say age, and then you can write any values or anything like uh, sample value. Okay, so that will be your 10.5. That is correct. Then you want to use big data. Let big is equal to something. So that will also correct. So this is the way you can define your number in TypeScript. So let's print this. So for print, what we can do, we can use the variable value, sorry, variable, then sample value. Just a minute. And we are using this, and then we are printing. So basically this is which type of data it is. It is number type of data. You can also check the type of, so you can use type of, and even see. So in this way you can see the which type of data this variable having. So here also we can see the type of it, and here also we can see the type of this data, right? So now let's save it and let's run this program. So first, for all, it gives you that all the variables are which type? Number type, right? Now we have to print the value of this. We want to print the value of this. So what you can do, just remove this. Okay, so we are removing it from here. Now just save it and run it. So here you can see that we get all the values, but we can see that how we define any variables value in number. So this is the way you can use the number. Now we will go for the next. So the next is our boolean type. Boolean is always store the value in true or false. So it only use for yes or no values. I have already giving some examples here, so that we can check. Let me comment this. Next is, third is boolean. So let is active. We defined the data type as boolean as true, and is logged in boolean false. So this is the way we can define any data type in boolean. Then we have any. So any means that it allows any kind of value. So this is really important to understand, because we are not using any in TypeScript, because we have to use it very carefully, because it removes the TypeScript safety, because usually we cannot define any value to any variables, right? If you are using the number, so you can define the value in number. If you are using the string, you can define the value in string, but it cannot be like you can define any value in anywhere. So I have example of it, like let value. We have take the variable as value, and the type is any. We defined 10. Next time the same value we defined as a string. So this time it was number. Now this time it is a string, and this time it is boolean. So this is like this is the way you can use for any data type, but usually people not recommend to use it, because we have to use it very carefully and it breaks the safety cause of it. Usually TypeScript won't allow this, but with the help of the any you can define like this. Then we have another data type that is called first we will go with null and undefined. So this is really, really important. So we will talk about null and undefined. Let me comment this. Next data type is null and undefined. So what is the meaning of this null? So let's understand that when we have a data, but that data is empty, so the value will be your null. There is no data inside that variable. But you are saying that any data which is undefined, it means that later on or maybe in future value can be assigned to that variable, so that called your undefined data type. So we can check this with example like console.log. Here we can print data 1, and here we will going to print data 2. So this data type will always be null, and this will always be undefined, always be undefined. Let's run it. Yeah, so this always be undefined. Now, when we run our code, so what we are getting? So for data 1 as null, we are getting the null as response, and for second undefined, we are getting as undefined. It means that in future, we can define the value for this data, this variable. So this is your this is the data of null and undefined. Now now we can understand the next is what we can see, union type. Okay, so understand this union type as a union type allows a variable to hold more than one data type. Okay, so understand this. So basically this is not any specific type of data, but here what you can use it like, you can allow a variable to hold more than one data type, but that data type should be fixed. What is the meaning of this fixed? We will understand. Like first we will define as type, and with the help of the pipe we defined as data type as type 2. For example, we created a variable that called value. Okay, we created this, or we can say we created as sample. This is our one variable we define, and what value we are going to store in this? We are going to store the value as a string, and then we are going to store any value as number, which recently showing above in the example, right? So here sample, we can say uh, testing, right? And another value we can store as what? Number. So 10. You can store this. So this is, that's it. But now we try to define any value like 10.5. So it will give an error. Why it is giving the error? Because this particular variable is only allowed to store the data type which is having a string or number, because we already predefined for this. Okay, and so you can say that an identifier or keyword cannot immediately follow a number or literal. Okay, so this is a decimal. So We cannot declare this, right? So I hope this is clear for union data type. Yeah, I think we cover all the data types here. So yeah, this is pretty much about the data type. Later on in upcoming session, we will going to cover more real-time scenarios for this. And also I have one small table here, like why we are using the string. So string is used for text, number is used for number, boolean is used for true or false, and any is used for any data type you can store in a variable, and unknown, undefined, array, list, tuple, object, void. All this we will going to talk in our next sessions.